Hello, I'm Rick Mooney in the Steel Studio, and this is this week's review. What are they saying about the Steelers? What are the players saying? Sights and sounds. Week 3 as we get ready to take on the Chargers. 2-0 against 2-0. It's going to be exciting. Enjoy.
Under a microscope. Not that I would, but like what coach would do. I thought they played well today. I thought I thought they were physical. Today, I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers put their will on the Denver Broncos. Running the ball, Naj ran like a madman today. 17 carries for 69 yards. I thought he had a $120 the way he ran. And because his 69 yards, the other team felt like it was 150 because he was running with anger, with physicality. Jalen Warren, 9 for 42, 4.7 average. Justin Fields, 8 for 27, 3.
Rundown last night, I immediately texted my producer, Colin. I said, no, it's not the most important game. And then as I was driving in this morning from San Diego, I kept thinking about it. And it was the only thing on the entire run that I kept thinking about because I'm a big Justin Fields fan. We all know that. And I said, yeah, it actually is the most important game of his career to date. Now, let me take you back to 2021 when he was drafted, right? He really was given the starting job. I like that. I would agree with that. Okay, things didn't work out in Chicago. They said, hey, get out of town. We're shipping you off for a 5th, 6th round pick. Caleb Williams, you're coming in. Hadn't got much better for Caleb Williams, just saying, for the Chicago people out there. And then you get in Pittsburgh, and then you're in a true competition. At least we think it's a true competition. I don't know about that. And then Russell Wilson wins. But then he gets hurt. So, Justin, you're starting. You're 2-0. If you go 3-0, if on Sunday you go 3-0, this is without a doubt the most important game in your career for your career. And that means you can win the starting job by this. You can make a name for yourself. You can have control of an elite franchise with a chance to win playoff games. I don't know if this opportunity ever comes around for Justin Fields. So in my mind, I'm thinking it absolutely is the game of his career, and it's the most important.
Oh, let's go to where things are going well when none of us could have expected it, especially whenever a calf injury popped up 2 days before a game happened. Let's go to Pittsburgh with AP Tone.
Yeah, Dano, no one's eyes I trust more than yours, okay? I'm seeing numbers out there that Justin Fields has the highest QBR in the AFC North, higher than Patrick Mahomes even.
Whoa.
I don't know if I'm exactly seeing that. I want to know what you're seeing. What's your takeaway from Justin Fields so far through 2 games?
Yeah, I think the best thing that Justin hasn't done is he's not hurt the football team.
True.
You know, and that's really growth and kind of maturation at that position. That was one of the things in relation to Justin that a lot of people, and rightfully so, would point to kind of over the last year is like, oh man, this guy he holds the football too long and he takes too many sacks. And while he can create big plays here and there, it's minimized because, you know, you're constantly in a backed up situation or behind the chains. And I think Justin's really grown and developed in that specific element. Now, part of it is because Arthur Smith has done a fantastic job through 2 games of not putting him in positions to, I guess, make a bad decision in regards to that. I do know this. I know this. Like, QB, and that's probably why the QBR is where it is, Tone. Like, that's a little bit why, you know, you can sometimes numbers can say whatever you want them to say type of thing. And I think sacks are a big part of that. I know this. Every time through 2 weeks, it feels like he's thrown the ball downfield. It's been a successful play and a really big play and thrown very well. I think he would have had another 100 yards this past weekend and 2 more touchdowns, if not for offensive penalties.
Mickey Mouse.
One on the hold when he sprints out to his right and knocks the ball or bombs the ball down to Pickens, which is beautiful. If Patrick made that throw or Lamar made that throw or Josh made that throw, you know, America would be losing their mind. He throws a touchdown to Pickens, and they call OPI, which I thought was a little ticky-tacky. So I think the best thing is he's gotten the ball out of his hands in an efficient manner. He's used his legs when he's needed to rather than being so reliant on it. He hasn't hurt their offense to get so far behind the sticks. I think Arthur's done a really good job of keepers, meaning get him outside the pocket, the play action, which, you know, really, like, there's some play actions that, and D-Butt, you know this, and AJ, like, it's the full field, right? You got to see all the field. And then there's some play actions where it really just cuts the field in half. Like, hey, man, you don't really have to pay attention to one half of the field. We can go 1 to 2 to 3. And that forces quarterbacks to play a little faster. I think he's done a really good job with that. I've said this. I think Justin should be their starter, and I think they could beat basically anybody with him.
Okay.
Hey, there's
that Pittsburgh situation, we talked about the full padded emergency quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, a lot of people coming out saying Justin Fields is that guy. That George Pickens quote about Justin Fields is a big deal, Tone. Legitimately, if the locker room starts talking like that, and this is similar to the Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix thing, they're both in their first year down in Atlanta, so they haven't won over anybody in that locker room through any of the past experiences. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, same exact situation going into Pittsburgh. Like, Russell Wilson obviously been around longer. The boys in the locker room have certainly seen him do more. They've seen the sandwiches. They've seen the let's ride. They've seen him, obviously, with the Legion of Boom whenever he was winning. And Justin Fields, they don't know as much about. But with what he's done through training camp because of the calf strain, and then what he's done here the first few weeks, it feels like the locker room's like, hey, we're riding a hot hand. And then you get Big Ben Roethlisberger also echoing the sentiment as well. It's like, hold the phone now. Hold the phone. Is Justin Fields won over the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room? And is Justin Fields the quarterback for the next 10 years in Pittsburgh? Tone Diggs, is that what you're preparing for at this point?
Well, he's definitely won over the locker room, and it's not even just the first 2 games of the year where they've obviously won, and he's played smart, and he's one of his best things is he throws a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deep ball, which is what George Pickens does best. But they started that in camp. Like because of the Russ injury when he first reported and didn't even practice for the first 3 weeks of camp or whatever it was, like Justin Fields was their quarterback all of camp. So all of these guys got used to Justin Fields and got comfortable with Justin Fields. And then you get into the 2 games where he's been smart and he's made plays. He's made plays with his feet. He's made throws when he's had to. Artie Smith's talking about the dam is about to break on the offense. I think the offense as a whole feels really good, even though it hasn't, points-wise, it hasn't been what they've wanted yet. Obviously, no touchdowns in the first game, six scoring drives, but none of them were touchdowns, and then just 1 touchdown in this last game. I think they feel comfortable, though. I think they're happy. I think they feel good where they're going, and it's with Justin Fields at quarterback. So it would be stupid in my mind to go to Russell Wilson, risk all of that, because then it's going to piss the team off potentially, and then it's going to piss Justin Fields off and all that. So, yeah, as long as Justin Fields keeps winning and keeps playing the way he is, I think you have to stay with him.
Kind of like he said, negated by penalty. So I feel like the dam was already, kind of breaking. That, penalties just can't happen. We got to play a clean game, but then again, also let the guys play on the field.
A lot of people talk about the second.
But, I'm a team player, and whatever my team asks me to do, I'm going to do it. Even if it's tiring or something like that. It's a part of the game, so I can't be mad at it.
Hey, there's that Pittsburgh situation we talked about.
All quadrants of the field, meaning I'm going to exploit you between the numbers too. Look out for this team. Look out. Because we know what he can do running the football. We know what he can do out of structure. That's the team that at the beginning of the year it was Justin. Caleb, Chicago's going to be so happy that they shipped him out of town and got Caleb. He's nothing but a running back playing quarterback. He'll never be this. The one mistake you can never make in the NFL, and Rich, you know this, you've been covering it a long time. Never say never. Never say never. Never assume that every situation is just like the one that the player just left, and that different situations don't affect players in different ways. Because what's happening in Pittsburgh right now is the perfect spot for him. It was perfect. And at the end, Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan are probably going to have the last laugh on this one.
Well, right now, Tomlin's saying the reason why Fields is there is because Russ isn't even an option to be a full participant in practice. So let's just leave that aside. And then any questions asked about is Justin winning the job right now, or can he salt it away to remove the question of Russ's availability from the equation? And Tomlin pushes back stridently on that, Lewis.
I think it's a little bit of, I'm not going to speak for Mike, because Mike, he'll give you a tongue lashing when you try and speak for Mike.
Yep.
But I would say this, at the risk of that happening, I would say this is a little bit of mind games that Mike is playing. It's like, look, I'm not going to let Justin, I'm just not going to tell him, yeah, you got the job now. Justin is playing very motivated for his, to win the job, to prove people wrong, to prove himself right, however you want to term it. And everybody plays when they have a little bit of a fire under their rear end, and they don't quite know whether or not they can get comfortable. Being uncomfortable, especially in the NFL, usually does spur people on to continue to try and strive and get better and better. And I'm not saying he's not intrinsically motivated, but right now it's working. It's working for.
It looked like when TJ sacked, there were memes going around that his aura is what really put Bo Nix on the ground. Have you ever seen that before?
Well, if we're going to talk about guys falling to the ground, got to go to the Peyton Mannings. I remember one time in Denver, he felt pressure, fell right to the ground, and then got right back up without us touching him.
He slides. Let's be real. He slid there, then got right back up. If you would have touched him on the ground, you would have gotten a personal foul. That's one of the most frustrating plays in Steelers history.
No, I mean, I'm just taking it week by week. Whether Isaac's healthy or not, I got to be ready to play regardless. At the end of the day, if he's healthy, then, obviously he'll be up. But if not, then I got to be ready to go. My resume is 2 games long, and obviously it'll be 3 on Sunday. But, I always got to improve, always, no matter I played good, bad, or indifferent.
Steelers are It was nice. It's cool to have him back. Some things have changed, some things haven't changed, and hard games he's always been a part of. So it's fun to see him in the locker room, getting back to what he used to always do.
TJ, has much changed with Greg Roman's offense with the Chargers?
Personnel, obviously, but some things seem consistent with what we've seen in the past. Some things seem newer. Obviously, running the ball is first and foremost for them. A different type of quarterback, not to say that's better or worse for the offense, but it's just a different style of quarterback. But we know they're going to try to pound the rock.
What have you thought about the job that Harbaugh has